Imagine the most dominant driver in Formula One history sitting in his cockpit watching his own sister team beat him, not just once, but weekend after weekend. This isn't a nightmare. This is Max Verstappen's reality right now, and it's about to change everything we thought we knew about Red Bull racing. What happened at the Dutch Grand Prix wasn't just another race. It was the moment the entire F1 world realized something incredible. Racing Bulls, the team everyone calls Red Bull's little brother, just proved they might actually be better than the main team. Both their cars made it to Q3, Hadjar got his first podium ever, and they did it all with the kind of smooth performance that left everyone asking one scary question. Is Red Bull's sister team now faster than Red Bull itself? Here's where this story gets really wild. Max Verstappen, the guy who's won 4 world championships and dominated F1 like no one else, couldn't beat the sister team at his home race. Think about that for a second. The best driver in the world in his own backyard getting matched by drivers in what's supposed to be the weaker car. That's not just embarrassing, that's a crisis. The proof is everywhere if you know where to look. Liam Lawson jumped into the Racing Bulls car and immediately started scoring points, 3 times in his last 6 races. Meanwhile, Yuki Tsunoda was flying high earlier this season, always fighting in the top 6. But the moment he moved to the main Red Bull team, he started struggling just to get out of Q1. That's not bad luck, that's a pattern. Even Fernando Alonso, one of the smartest guys in F1, said what everyone's thinking but afraid to say out loud. Put Max in the Racing Bulls car and he'd be fighting for the championship right now. Coming from a 2-time world champion who's driven everything and seen it all, those words hit like a hammer. Alonso knows talent when he sees it, and he knows when a car is holding back that talent. The difference between the two teams isn't about money or resources, it's about how they think. Racing Bulls built a car that's easy to drive, easy to set up, and doesn't punish you when you push hard. Red Bull's car, it's the complete opposite. It's difficult, demanding, and if you make one small mistake, it bites back hard. For regular drivers, that's a nightmare. Even for Max, it's becoming a problem. Listen to what Max said after the Dutch Grand Prix. He had to save his tyres too much in the fast corners. The car wouldn't turn when he wanted it to. The back end wouldn't support him when he needed it most. For the entire race, he felt like he was driving at the same level as the sister team, not fighting for wins like he should be. That's not the kind of feedback you want to hear from your star driver. The numbers tell an even scarier story for Red Bull. Since the teams switched drivers around, Tsunoda has only scored 9 points in Red Bull colours. Meanwhile, Lawson has 20 points and Hadjar has 37 points for Racing Bulls. These aren't just random numbers, they're proof that something is seriously wrong with Red Bull's approach to building race cars. So what went wrong with Red Bull? The answer is simple but brutal. All their best people left. Adrian Newey, the genius behind their championship cars, walked away. Other key engineers followed him out the door. Christian Horner faced pressure from the top. When you lose that much experience and knowledge at once, you can't just replace it overnight. The team is rebuilding while trying to stay competitive, and it's not working. Pierre Wache is a brilliant engineer who's now in charge, but even he can't fix everything while the whole organisation is changing around him. That leaves Red Bull stuck with a car design that only works perfectly, while Racing Bulls have something that works well in all conditions. Guess which approach wins more often? Racing Bulls discovered something magical in F1. They built a car that lets drivers push without being scared. That confidence is worth more than any upgrade or new part. Their drivers aren't managing problems, they're exploring what the car can do. That's the difference between fighting for points and fighting for podiums. For months, Red Bull kept making excuses. They said Tsunoda just needed time to adapt. They said it was about confidence and getting comfortable. Then came the Dutch Grand Prix, and all those excuses died. Max himself said Hadjar was fast and the cars were equal. If the baseline speed is the same, what happens when you put the best driver in the world in the better car? The answer should terrify Red Bull. Could Max actually switch teams? Legally and politically, it would be messy, but practically, he could walk across the hallway tomorrow and try it. He's not fighting for a championship this year. He's not protecting points. He has freedom that champions rarely get mid-season, and Max adapts faster than almost any driver we've ever seen. Give him a car that talks to him clearly and watch what happens. This creates a massive problem for Red Bull's future. Max's contract runs through the first year of the new rules in 2026. After that, every mistake, every weekend where the car doesn't work right, every time he has to save tyres instead of attacking, it all adds up. Trust breaks down bit by bit, and when trust is gone, so is loyalty. Racing Bulls proved that a different approach can work better. They've built something that speaks clearly to drivers and gives them the confidence to race at their best. Red Bull's approach demands perfection and punishes mistakes. In a sport where tiny margins decide everything, which philosophy would you choose? The sport doesn't wait for anyone to figure things out. While Red Bull searches for answers, everyone else keeps working, learning, and improving. Racing Bulls have created something special. A car that removes fear from the driving equation. That's incredibly valuable in modern F1, and the Dutch Grand Prix put it on display for everyone to see. The big question isn't really whether Max would win in a Racing Bulls car. His track record makes that answer obvious. The real question is what happens to Red Bull if their best driver starts looking across the garage and wanting what he sees there. This isn't just about one bad weekend or temporary struggles. This is about the fundamental direction of one of F1's most successful teams. The sister team has found a better way to build race cars, and the main team is stuck with an approach that's getting harder to make work. If Max ever did switch cars, even for one weekend, the results would tell us everything we need to know about both teams' futures. It would expose Red Bull's biggest weakness since their key people started leaving. Not politics or drama, but a failure to build cars that make sense to the drivers who have to race them. The clock is ticking on Red Bull's ability to give Max what he needs to win. Racing Bulls have already shown there's a better way forward. The only question now is whether Red Bull will learn from their sister team, or whether they'll watch their greatest asset drive away in search of a car that amplifies his talent instead of limiting it. The warning signs are flashing, the evidence is mounting, and time is running out for Red Bull to prove they can still build championship-winning cars for the best driver in the world